Hello my fellow gnomes, welcome back to another video, and yet again the comments will likely be filled with people asking for more tower defense content. It's been almost 2 years since that fateful first video, which by the way has had over 1 million views by now, very cool, but that series came to an end like all good things must. Until today. Prepare to see a tower defense creation as you've never seen it before, thanks to the sponsor of this video, the Sandbox. Get the link below. Now if you haven't seen my previous video on using this new game engine, then I'll leave a link for you folks to check it out. But essentially we took my Roblox gnome character, turned him into a Chad buff grandpa, and then made this game for him that you're seeing right here. Now usually making a game requires having some prerequisite coding knowledge, which can be pretty daunting. You'd probably need to take the time to watch a beginner scripting tutorial perhaps, but if you're making a game in the Sandbox game engine, you can create everything without writing a single line of code. That's right, what you see on screen here I created in the last video entirely using just easy drag and drop behavior components and then simply adjusting the logic as I preferred through drop down settings. Now this worked out pretty well for an RPG, but what else can I make? Hence, I wanted to take things one step further and attempt a reimagining of our most successful tutorial of all time. This is Tower Defense, the Sandbox edition. So this is the Sandbox Game Maker application, and just like Roblox Studio, it's where you start off all your creations. So you see here I've got Save the Gnomes, that's the game I made last time. GnomeBox is another thing I was playing with. And this is just a copy of a template down here. So if you go over to templates, you see, unlike Roblox, we've actually got a ton of different templates to work with. And then if you go over here to the drafts gallery, we can see different games people have published, and you can search as well. So if you were to search, say, for Save the Gnomes, which is the name of my game, then here it is. It comes up here. And so if you check it out, you can give me 5 stars, because at the moment I haven't got any stars. I'll give myself 5 stars, that'll make me feel better. But let's go over and create our game. So here it is. Tower Defense, we'll spell it the English way. We can choose a theme to start with, but we're just going to leave it empty. And then a land size. So this can be whatever you like really when you're just playing about and creating a draft. Now, if you want to actually publish your game professionally, maybe in the hope of earning some revenue, then you will need to own what's called land within the metaverse. You can think of it like paying for some server costs up front and then getting the huge revenue share of 95% that the Sandbox offers. But you don't really need to worry too much about the size, and really a 1x1 land size has quite a lot you can do with it. So we'll go ahead and we'll click create. So this is how much land you get for 1x1. You see it's a pretty big, sort of like Roblox, 1 base plate's worth of area, and really you can make pretty much, I would say, any game within this space alone. So how on earth are we going to make a tower defense creation? Well, I think the first thing I'm going to need is some kind of base to protect. So let's go ahead and add in a base for ourselves. So we hit L and then we can search for like a house or something. Koal's house. Cool. So we can add that in nice and easy. And that looks pretty cool right from the off. We can see we've got no behavior and no components. Now we want it to have health. So let's go and add in a health component. If we play now, what we should see is we have this house. It looks pretty normal. And then if we hit it with our sword, we are going to damage it. But it'd be cool if we could have that maybe health bar display all of the time. So if we want to do that, that's super easy. No code has to change. We just tap edit logic, and then we'll say that the life bar display is always on. And then when we die, instead of destroying the house, we probably want to end the game. So we'll set it to game over. So now we've got our bard being displayed. And if we damage it, there we go. Defeat. Game over in tower defense. So that's a pretty rubbish game, but we've got a defeat condition at the very least. What we need now is some enemies. So how about we could add in maybe like an archway, perhaps? There we go. Desert wall archway. Doesn't that look cool? How about we have some enemies come out of the archway and towards the house? So I'll click here and behavior. I want something that spawns something. And we have an asset spawn, a behavior. And we can see this blue box is where the assets are going to appear. And we could spawn in, say, something nasty, a barbarian. And we'll set him some behavior. So we're going to make him a melee enemy. And then it just needs a message required in order to start the spawning. How about we just make it part of the base itself? So if we click the base and then we say add in a behavior of a message broadcaster. And if we edit the logic so we can see it, we'll increase that range. Although this might seem a bit backwards, we're going to have our fort here generating the monsters or telling the spawns to generate them. And so I could even duplicate this and put another one over on the other side. There we go. And then if we wanted to like add some groovy paths, we could do that pretty easy. Game in terms of a map. But let's play now, see what we've got. And we can see suddenly we're having these berserkers generate. And so we're generating quite a lot of them. And oh no, they're all coming for us now. Run! This is a lot of barbarians. So probably instead of having them chase after us, we need them to chase towards the house. And how we're going to do that is using presets. So let's exit out of this. So we'll search for that barbarian again, the barbarian berserker, and then we can go ahead and edit his behavior. By default, we can see that a melee enemy is going to attack the avatar. We don't want that. We want him to attack the base. How do we do that? Well, we just give it a tag, much like collection service in Roblox, which I actually did a video on just a few weeks ago. So we'll add a tag of base, and then we'll tell our berserker here, we say that we want you to go and chase down not avatars, but anything called base. So now we've made our special version. We can just go and create a preset of him. We'll just call him mob, hit create. And so there we go. We can see he's now been created. And now hopefully when we hit play, we have these monsters appearing. They're not attacking me and they're going straight towards the base. And oh no, it is being damaged very quickly. And it is game over. Okay, we've got to make that a little bit easier for the player, I think. So we'll turn down this damage down to 1. They're not going to do quite so much damage, which gives us a bit of time to react. And it's pretty cool how the mobs automatically space out around the base. Okay, we're under some heavy siege here. We need a way to generate some defenders. So let's add in a shop to our game now. So let's see what we could add in, like a stall or a stand, maybe a weapon stand. Okay, perfect. And then the behavior we're going to add in, we're going to make this one an asset spawner as well. We've got this blue box of where it's going to spawn in the enemies, sort of over here, okay? That's where we can spawn them in. And the asset we want to spawn in is actually, we can use a preset I made earlier. You might recognize him from the last episode. And you can see he's got this soldier type. And he is going to look for any hostiles, which in this case is going to be our mobs. We're going to say, yeah, spawn in a preset, spawn in the gnome. And I only want you to spawn in, not from any of these other messages, because these messages are really the crux of the Sandbox game maker. Much like you would use a remote event in Roblox. So we're going to use an event, spawn.gnome, and then we need something to trigger that. So just to test it, we could go and add in a lever, and we can see we've got this yellow area where it's going to broadcast the message out. And if we just edit the logic, so instead of just sending a generic trigger message, we say spawn.gnome. We've already got our first 2 mobs running towards us. And we'll go and we'll press this lever, we'll press E. And what we should have, there we go, we've got a gnome who suddenly appeared. And he's taking out some of the mobs. I don't think he can do it on his own though, so we'll spawn in a few more. 1 and 2. And maybe a third one for good luck. And there we go. The barbarians don't stand a chance. We've got some more defenders on the case, swarming upon the barbarian. They probably need faster run speed, but they will do the job. The only issue is it's super easy because all of the new gnomes are completely free to purchase. We need to have some kind of currency system. So we should probably get our barbarians to actually drop something on death. So let's search for some gold objects. This gold treasure shield will work nicely as a kind of giant coin. We can give it a component to be pickable, which means that we'll be able to actually pick it up. We add a component for a drop. And what is he going to drop? Well, he's going to drop a preset, which is our gold coin. So now when we kill one of these mobs, we'll have them drop a gold coin and we can go over and we can pick this thing up. And we don't actually have anything to do with it now. Next, we just need to make it so we can interact with the shop and we can purchase a unit. So now we have our 3 triggers set up. Let's give it a go. So I go up to my mob, I whack him, take my gold coin, pick it up, head over to the shop, and when I do so, coin's taken, and in our place we have a little gnome warrior who is going to give us a hand, and as he kills each of them, we're going to get some additional gold coins that we can then use in the shop to purchase some more gnomes. Now we just need a difficulty system, so we're going to add some waves. And I think I know how I'm going to do this. Rather than just having both of these archers start spawning at the same time, I'm going to disable this one for now. And inside of the logic, I'm going to make a message required in order to start spawning the assets. And that message is going to be wave 2. And then we're going to duplicate this. So we'll take a copy and then we're just going to rotate it round. And then we just need an extra path, don't we? So we'll create a path down here. And this one is going to spawn in on wave 3. And the duration is going to be every 2 seconds. And then in order to configure all of these waves, we're going to go up to the rules section and we'll add in a quest for ourselves. So now we have wave 1, wave 2, and wave 3, and they're all linked together. And they're all linked to these archers. The only thing that's missing is a map. There we go. That's looking a little more thematic. So let's go and give this thing a play. Here we go. Okay, wave 1. We've already got a guy attacking and we've got our first gold coin. Wave 1. 1 out of 3 enemies defeated. And that's our second one. Let's go and cash in our gold now. Off to the shop, and we've got ourselves a free gnome. Hello, little gnome. I'm Grandpa Gnome. And, oh, he was a bit slow there, but we've got 3 of them, and now we're on to wave 2. I'm going to be careful because now they're coming in from both sides, so we've got to keep an eye out. And quick, let's take some gold and get ourselves some more gnomes. Come on, gnomes, give me a hand here. Give me a hand. We're under attack. We're under attack. There we go. They're helping out now. Okay, they were a little slow at first. Come on, gnomes, do your thing. 1, wave 3. 6 now. And are we there yet? We'll get some more gnomes to help us. 8 out of 10. 9 out of 10. Hey! So there we have it. Tower defense, or maybe you'd call it more of a wave defense or whatever. But a game, nonetheless, created entirely in the Sandbox. If you want to give my gameplay, or maybe check out the game maker for yourself, then click my link down in the description and check it out. I'd say, even if you're happy with developing on Roblox right now, it's always worth keeping an eye on what our competitor platforms are up to. And there's definitely some interesting things happening over there right now. So click the link below, give it a try, and let me know what you think. So until next time, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye!